wanted to continue and not, give up an opportunity to meet with you again. So it's picnic weekend for everybody. It's grills, it's hot dogs, it's mayonnaise, and coleslaws, and salads, and need I say, I'll say it under my breath, alcohol, and a lot of other things that really people find them after they've had a holiday weekend. They have a bellyache, a lot of discomfort, they're sluggish and fatigued. Sunburn, a lot of these things. So what we thought we would do was spice it up a little and introduce you today to 2 side dishes that are actually made without any mayonnaise that you can bring and prepare for a picnic gathering, and 2 burgers that we can introduce to you that are meatless. The black bean burger, and we have a walnut burger. And I think we even have a surprise burger, I just found out today because I looked at the code. So this little demonstration here will be a basic demonstration because of the time that we would have involved. But I just wanted you to take a look at us and think with me. Anybody know what this is here in this bowl?
Kale.
Is it a favorite for most people?
I don't know, I never ate that.
Never ate the kale? Favorite for most people? Okay, I get one way over there. One of the things about kale, though, is for this becomes difficult for some people to look at this. Okay? It doesn't look palatable. It's like when we went from the greens and the romaines and the bibs, and then it became really savvy for you to get the field greens. I know I'm not a big field green person. I'd like to go back to the traditional light green. But I love kale. Now it comes in different varieties. There's a blue kale, a red Russian kale. There's a curly kale, or this kale is called like a dinosaur kale. And if you try to just chew this, it is a little bit difficult. But there are some secrets. And one of the secrets is salt and oil and a good massage. Okay? That sounds like a good thing. We can do that. All right. So I simply did, and I want you all to know.
You're relaxing it.
Yeah, you're relaxing it. Now, let me see. I haven't never done a cooking demonstration, so I'm not sure how to stay somewhat under control here. So this here has already been cut for you, and my hands are clean. And I just want to show you very quickly that you can just tear this. Okay? You can just tear this kale off. Now I want you to be mindful. Have you ever heard of something called the dirty dozen?
Yeah.
When it comes to, you don't really want to do that. If you have a compost bin, you want to do that. Something called the dirty dozen, different foods that are contaminated. I can't say to you here, oh, get organic and organic only, because for some people that's just not doable. But there are some foods that you want to get organically. This is one of them. This is a very dirty product if a grower has been able to spray this. Because he has to make sure that he gets to all the little things that are hiding. So he has to apply a vast amount of chemicals. If you do,
Does the veggie wash spray wash it off?
does the veggie wash spray wash off?
Pesticides?
I never tried that, I heard about that.
I don't know if it washes off pesticides. That sounds a little much to me. I think it might take off other surface residues, but the chemicals permeate into the life source of the plant and again the soil. So what you can do though is if you were to, I should have shown you that leaf that I just had, I held up to you. You would have like a nice cool sink of cold water, and you would put your leaves right in there, and you would push up and down, and just watch the sands and the silts and the little buggies will go to the bottom. But if you buy a triple washed or a really well washed, you can just rinse it and go, hi, come on and get a spot. You got a big chair if you like. Have a big chair. Yeah, have it. Just don't trip over that. See, there's a little orange cone on the floor here for everybody to not trip over. There's one little piece of the floor. Okay? So come on in. So what I've done is I'm tearing this up for you. Okay? So that's about a bunch or two of the kale. A nice little salad. Now most people are just going to pass this by because they can't eat it. Okay? Holy my recipe disintegrated. I'm really okay. So what I've done here, part of the recipe for the liquid is I have a lime and a lemon. A lime and an orange. You're familiar with just using a simple grater over the top. Very simple tool. away from me. And this called for some squeezed orange juice. So the citrus is going to help to break down the membranes of something like this kale. Okay? And there was some lime in here. It was sweetened up with a little bit of the guave syrup. This is guave syrup. If you want to add it, you can. If you want to just add it to taste, you can. I actually added it to the recipe, so I think it might be a little sweet, but holiday. Okay? It might be a little bit fun. And it also called for coconut oil, and you can use any of the coconut oils that you can basically afford. The cold-pressed organic varieties are the best. Watch in places like Ocean State job lots and dollar stores and Aldi's and find this product. This is what you don't want to have to buy at the Willimantic Co-op. There is that's a full price there. When it goes on sale. All right. There's some garlic that's going to go into the recipe. I find that I find with collards and greens and broccolis, even dandelions, that I really like to have that garlic in there as well. It's sort of a part of that flavor. So again, we have the orange juice and the lime. Okay, very simple. This was a very simple online recipe called the raw kale citrus salad. Okay, and then the guave is floating on the top. That is coconut oil, and I don't know why it's floating on the top, but I'm gonna talk to that in just a minute. We're gonna get that in. Well, I'm gonna put my hands in here and I'm gonna massage it anyway. All right. But salt. There's some sea salt already in there. Pick a variety that you like, or any kind of a coarse salt, or a Himalayan pink salt if that's what you would like. That's going to help along with the oil and the garlic and the citrus to break down those membranes. I'm going to put a little bit more in there because I think I might need it. But again, the recipe is online on a raw citrus salad. Okay? And then I have garlic. You know, I did it a little bit ahead of time. And I like garlic. Let me ask you, do we have any not garlic people in here today? Because I'm going with the full 2 coals. All right.
What a better.
Now maybe I don't, actually, you know what? I was going to do this as a demonstration. Now I'm wondering if I want to. Or if I want to do it afterwards. So
maybe if you have a small spoon, you can get the rest of it out.
my small spoon goes in here.
Other small spoon or a knife or something.
Yeah. Well, I got a little bit more in here. Let's see what I can do. So that looks good. So for now. Get it? Okay, so all the future cooks are here, and they're already, I'm not going to try anything that's fancy right now, okay? I'm going to hope that this doesn't get out. After the salad is marinated, at least 2 minutes by hand. It's not something you just pour in and stir it around. It wants that massage, okay? So a good 2 minutes or so. It'll refrigerate. And then when we bring it out and try to enjoy it later on the table, we're going to enjoy it with some fresh little carrots on top, and some currants on top, and some mandarins. Okay, again, this is, now, there's no reason why your mandarins couldn't be tangerines. They weren't tangerines yesterday because there weren't any in the market. Your raisins could be currants, cherries. Your carrots are carrots. And then how about if you like some pumpkin seeds? Or some seeds to go in here. Now you go to a nice picnic and you get caught, and everything is mayonnaise, milk-based, butter-based, cream-based, sugar-based, and meat. And if that doesn't meet your palate, and you come along with your lovely kale salad, and if you had some side of some sesame seeds or some nuts, you're going to eat just as well as everybody else, and probably be the star on the volleyball team to boot. So I'm going to add this in, but I'm going to add it in just a moment. You're not watching me add that because it's going to be terrible messy with that. That was one variety, okay? I do have to do it. Now traditionally though, how about this one? Does this one look familiar?
Yeah.
Cabbage.
It looks like when you go in the store and get the.
Coleslaw.
Yeah.
A favorite for all picnics is to be a coleslaw. A lovely product because we talked in your nutrition class before about eating the different colors of the rainbow.
Yeah. It's colorful, yeah.
You get that lovely purple, or you could call it a deep red. You get another whole variety of introducing colors into your diet. Now this recipe is a little different than a traditional coleslaw because I'm not going to use any mayonnaise whatsoever. We're going to make a creamy dressing. You know, sometimes your coleslaws could either be a vinaigrette, or some people like to bring them to a creamy vinaigrette using the celery salts and the sugar and the mayonnaise. We're going to do this by we're going to use avocado. So we're going to use avocado. It's going to be our creaminess. And in this recipe I have already made up for you. This recipe is online as well. This recipe, in here I have a lemon and a lemon zest, some apple cider vinegar. I choose to use this. Okay. There's maple syrup in here, so it's a little sweet. Remember, we're having a party. And we have the seasonings of today are ground mustard and the celery seed. You want to have that celery seed in your coleslaw, or people will feel like you've left something out. Okay, so I've already mixed all that in, and I'm just going to add that very basically when I add the avocados into here. So let's just see if this is going to work. Beverly said, "You didn't try it?" I'm like, "No, I didn't try it." So what I have is the
Look at
avocado.
the smoke.
I have the avocados here, and I made up the little dressing. Okay. I've already taken the seed out of my avocados to make it simple for here today. And now I'm going to scoop them. It said peel your avocado. Anybody ever peeled an avocado? I scoop my avocados. Not sure who wrote that down. So this is going to go in here. This is just a little ninja. There's so many little tools nowadays. Everything from a bullet right up to a Vitamixer, any kind of little food processor. Again, I didn't try this, but I think it can't be too difficult to be successful with today. So let's give it a whirl, a whiz, spin. Now I'm going to have to move over to the other table momentarily because my extension cord that was here a couple of days ago is not here anymore. And that, I know. So somebody needed an extension cord badly. Okay. Let's try it right here. It's about as high-tech as we get here at the Healthy Ministries, okay? So this should just be very simple. No, there's a little place where it lands right here. Okay? Ah. Come on. It's tricky? Not tricky. Not tricky.
Still on the wrist.
No, I think, okay, everybody's gonna say what?
There you go.
Make a mess. I don't know, but if this is down,
Right.
pardon me, this will go in. If not, this will happen in the kitchen while you're enjoying the next part of the display. Go. Ah, ready?
There you go.
Working?
Live demo.
Oh, yes, it is, and this is
This
a very,
is the live demo.
yeah, this is, Diane, I'll write this down for you at the end of it. I'll write it down.
Okay.
This is very, yeah, this is powerful. Just let's do it for 1 second because we wanted a creamy dressing. Ready? Everybody sing happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Very good. They sing that really well. Okay.
I like that the wizard part doesn't get dirty.
Yeah.
Huh?
The wizard part doesn't get dirty.
This is a great little thing.
Yeah.
This is a great little thing.
I got stuff, Schmuck.
This is a great little, the wizard part, this is the wizard part. Then, she's done. I'm gonna hand these to you, and start putting stuff behind you, or anywhere you'd like to. So that's gonna be our creamy dressing, and that is creamy, look at that. And so that is gonna be, instead of mayonnaise, that's the 2 avocados, again, with the lemon and the lemon zest, and that's gonna go in here. We're gonna toss this up traditionally. It's a vegan coleslaw, and what makes a little bit of fun at the end too is I'm gonna put some nice crunchy Granny Smith apples and some carrots on top, okay? So it's a little different. So now you're having a little fun at the picnic. So that's what we're gonna do over here. And I think that's the demonstration. I'm gonna have Zoe's gonna disappear, make all this disappear. These things can stay on the counter. I've got it, don't disappear yet. How can I start all this in there? Okay. Well, I wanted to mix the mixing in there so it could set for the next hour so we can eat it. Whatever. Yeah.
We're just going to be talking a little bit, because we based our our idea for this on the black bean burger. We're going to talk about black beans and legumes in general. When I embarked on this, I was very, very excited to learn something new. I don't know about you, but that's exciting to me, especially when it has to do with my health, because I've been struggling with several different things, and I eat a lot of rice and a lot of beans. I'm married to Puerto Rican, so you know we have a lot of rice and beans, and I was frustrated with the fact that even though I knew it was a healthy diet, that I wasn't necessarily as healthy as I wanted to be. So I've been asking God why for a long time, and I think I got some answers. So I'm going to share with you a little bit of what I found. First of all, just talk about the black beans, because we're going to have a black bean burger. The black beans actually provide special support for your colon. Okay, I don't know if you've heard that or not, but legumes have a lot of fiber in them, okay, and so do whole grains. And so the fiber in the beans is what a lot of people know helps to keep things moving. But then a lot of people have problems with flatulence. And the black beans have an indigestible fraction, they call it. It's an indigestible fraction. In other words,
fraction like a quarter?
the part of it is much larger than even lentils or chickpeas. So what that means is it actually isn't just fiber that goes through you, it also feeds the cells in your colon, which is really cool. Because the bacteria, the good bacteria, eats it, and that actually converts some of those substances into what is food for your cells, which I think is totally cool. And that's part of how vitamin B12 is made, is by the bacteria in your colon. So it lowers your colon cancer risk. It feeds your colon, actually. And another thing that I didn't know is the pigment in the black bean actually is, I can't remember what you call that. It's full of phytonutrients and flavonoids. So you might think of like the different colors, like oranges and reds, and those flavonoids. But you might not think that black beans are that big of a deal because they're black. But that color actually has a lot of flavonoids in it. Okay, so the black beans actually lower your risk of diabetes, cardiovascular disease, and cancer, certain types of cancer. So I don't know if you knew this, but the USDA actually recommends a half a cup of a serving of legumes every day. And a lot of people are kind of lucky if they eat them, once a week maybe. But they recommend that. What's actually recommended is more. It's better to eat 4 to 8 cups of these a week. So for a lot of people, they have trouble with the beans. So what I embarked on was an answer to how we could actually avoid that. So, so what we're actually going to look at is that, if you've ever heard of soaking the beans, that's important, okay? Because it does get rid of a lot of the bubbles, what makes the bubbles, okay? It's not actually the bubbles themselves, but it's actually what makes the bubbles. It's actually raffinose and stachyose, which cause flash floods, okay? However, I was really, really excited to find out that what you have, I found this in the co-op. They have them for free, and I'm going to give you a copy. And I blew it up because it's really micro tiny, or actually Leo did for me. So, and as I looked at it, I thought, I don't do any of these things. I soak my beans overnight, maybe, but I don't do any of these things. So, and it says why to soak in a certain way. Now, Janice was talking about using the citrus for breaking down, okay, the fiber in the kale, right? So if you have that still in your mind, you'll know that this shouldn't come as a shock to you. But what beans and starches, even rice, have on the outside of them, in particular, is they have what we call anti-nutrients, okay? Those actually protect it, okay? But if we just cook it without actually breaking those down, it's almost like, we need to open the door to the nutrients that are inside, okay? It's like there's something in a treasure box inside there. So you could be eating rice and beans, but not getting the best nutrient value out of them. And so the problem with that, and this has been a problem for me, is that your minerals in particular are actually, instead of you gaining the minerals, it'll actually take the minerals out of your body. So this is very, very important because obviously calcium is of concern, okay? Magnesium. But think about zinc. And zinc is crucial for your hormone balance, okay? So if hormone balance is not right, it could be that you're not treating your food right before you eat it, and even before you cook it, okay? So, very simply, I'm gonna pass these around. You guys can take one and pass it down. Actually, make sure that they get some down there, back there. So, I found a very simple way to put this. This is what the co-op has, okay? So I'm just giving you a copy of what they put out. But I did research it because I was like, I've never heard of this before. I need to make sure this is true. And there's research to back all this up. So, so this one in particular, you guys need one, or would you like to have them? Okay. On this sheet, okay, just to make it very, very simple for you. Okay, so for whole grains, we are supposed to cover them with warm water, okay, 2 inches above, okay? That doesn't mean boiling the beans. It means you warm your water and you're using basically just a little bit warmer than lukewarm water, okay? You're adding lemon juice or cider vinegar. Now, in the other sheet that I gave you, it'll say you can use other things like dairy, okay? I didn't put those here, but you could use things like whey, that comes from yogurt. And that's the clear part of the yogurt if you were to let it actually drip through a cheesecloth. The clear water would be the whey, and that would have the probiotics, basically, beneficial bacteria. So we know that in our gut that the bacteria helps to break things down for us, okay, so that we can assimilate more. But what I didn't know was we need to do something to break these compounds down so we can actually get the best out of the food. So, so after you add the lemon juice or cider vinegar, you're to soak them for 7 hours. Most people would say overnight. Okay? At room temperature. And then you drain and cook as you normally would. Now that's for grains. So even your brown rice, it may be something that you never thought of doing before. I never did. So, but I'm going to be doing it from now on. So, so for legumes, it's the same, except for lentils and split peas, which is good to know. But you're to soak the larger beans and black beans for 24 hours. Again, that's not just overnight, that's a full day. So you start soaking at night, you gotta wait till the next night. And you need to change the soak if they are starting to bubble, because that means they're starting to ferment, okay? So you rinse the beans and then start over again. Again, warm water, lemon juice, or cider vinegar. The cider vinegar that she had here was the best. It's Bragg's. It's the best cider vinegar. So, and if you're using very, very small beans, you're supposed to double the amount of vinegar. Okay?
That's counterintuitive though, isn't it?
It seems like it, because I had always heard you don't want to put your tomatoes in, because too much acid and they won't cook. Well, it means that they'll take longer to cook. But that's considering that they haven't been soaked right. Okay, so basically now, if we're doing things right, then it should actually take a little less time to cook. It still may, depending on what temperature you start at and all of that, it'll still, take some time. But if you were to do what is traditionally used, which is, oh, I'm in a hurry, so throw them in there, let's boil the water, shut it off, and then wait an hour, and then I can start cooking them. You're still looking at a good 3.5 hour wait for those beans, and you're gonna cater to your taste buds, but not to your whole body. You're not going to nourish yourself the way that you could doing it this way. Okay, so for lentils and split peas, it's the very same as legumes, but you just soak with water. Okay, and again, I never have soaked my lentils before, so this is new to me too.
So?
And even raw nuts. Soak, not soap.
It sounds like it's going in.
No soap. No soap. Okay.
No, they do have vegetable stuff that you.
All right. So your raw nuts are going to be the same. You're going to soak them overnight or 7 hours. Okay. Without lemon or vinegar, but you're going to you can sprinkle some sea salt on that, and that actually helps the action for the nuts. Okay, so it's not only going to soften the nuts, it's actually going to make it more bioavailable. I'm using big words. Okay, that means there's more nutrition available for your body to actually take advantage of. More nutrition for your money. Okay, who wants to know that you're just eating your food and it's just leaving down the toilet? I want to be nourished. I want to be healthy. So I'm excited about sharing this with you because this was new to me. The other thing that I was going to share with you was, oh, they didn't leave them here, was, for instance, quinoa. Okay, quinoa is a quick cooking grain, so you wouldn't think that you have to soak it. All right, but it's a whole grain, so we're gonna need to do the same thing, 7 hours, and we know 7 is a good number. I don't think that's a coincidence, do you?
7's a magic
It's
number.
7 hours, okay,
7th day my birth.
So when you're gonna do your quinoa, just the other recommendation, I did do, hopefully they're not burning it in the kitchen. I did do an extra burger today, and it is a sweet potato burger. So it's a sweeter burger, but it also has black beans in it. And I treated those black beans just the way they were supposed to be done. So the quinoa needs to be also, we have typically thought of, oh, let's just get out the grain, let's get this moving, and then let's get to whatever else we are going to do. What we need to do is have more preparation. Does that ring any bells with anybody? Preparation is partly making a decision what you're going to do, right? And then after that, this is not really that difficult, but it means you're going to think a little bit more ahead, okay, before you do something. Now, if you soak something and you can't use it right away, you rinse it, put it in the fridge, okay, and it'll wait for you. Maybe not for 3 weeks, but but it'll wait for you, okay? So, and if you put it in the fridge and it is wet, if it has been soaked the right way, it won't sprout. But that was what I was going to talk about now, is sprouts, okay? And I'm not going to go into a big to-do about sprouts because we want to have time to eat. But we'll do sprouts some other time. But I did want to show you the easiest way, and if you think about this, the reason we have to do this with the grains and with the legumes and even with the nuts is because they're dry, right? Now Adam and Eve didn't have that problem. They could eat it right off the plant, right off the tree. They didn't have to revive it, if you will. Okay, they didn't have to soak it, they didn't have to revive it, they didn't have to break it down. So, obviously, what we're dealing with is something that is a reminder that we need to actually plan ahead and have preparation for our meals more. So, one of the ways that you can actually avoid doing all of that is to sprout. Because sprouting actually does the same thing. It will take care of all those anti-nutrients, okay? But if you're going to sprout, you don't want to add lemon juice, okay? Because that's going to start breaking it down, start pre-digesting it, if you will. So the easiest sprout to sprout is buckwheat. Now, if I was to want to sprout these are bone dry, okay? These are chickpeas. Then you would want to soak them, okay? Not with the vinegar, okay? But you'd want to soak them, and you can do that, and you can put this right back on it. But what you're going to do in the morning is you're going to dump out the water because they're going to swell, okay? They're going to absorb a lot of water. I wouldn't put a lot more than this into something like this if you're going to sprout it, because they're going to get big, okay? These are available at the co-op too, and it's very simple. You put this on top, and so as many times as you need to, especially if it's hot like it is, now, 2 to 3 times a day, you're going to want to rinse these with cold water, okay? And then leave them on their side, like this. Or you can do this, where you actually let it drain for a while in a cup like this, okay? So it makes it really easy. Go ahead.
Only because those are $5 a piece. I use, and always have used cheesecloth or netting with an elastic.
Right.
And then it's, you can just rinse
It's a lot
out.
cheaper.
It's a lot cheaper.
I was fortunate, I was given these, so.
You're so lucky.
So,
I saw the
but
$5.
it comes in a package of 3. You could see this one is actually, this one is going to let more air in, okay? But I'm not going to use that for quinoa, if I want to sprout quinoa. This one is, is more along the lines of cheesecloth or a screen. Some people use a screen. have seen those, but I've heard of it. So the easiest well, I want to say too, we sprouted the chickpeas. And the chickpeas, when you sprout them, taste exactly like green peas out of the garden, which is a little weird because you're used to the taste being so easily influenced by, like, say, garlic. Garlic and chickpeas go really good together. But when you sprout them, they're going to taste different, okay? This is buckwheat, okay? And I'll let you guys, if you want to, just look at it, okay? These, we set to sprout yesterday, about 24 hours ago. They're already sprouting. So they're fast, you know. Chickpeas will take you 3 to 4 or 5 days. Okay? So, and you have to keep up with rinsing them or put them in the fridge as well as rinse them. You can sprout in the fridge too. Okay, if you're worried about it being too hot. But they'll sprout slower.
Question. Do you soak rolled oats, the oats, the old-fashioned oats? Do you have to soak those before you cook them
That's
as
a
well?
good question. That's a good brain.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they're already usually cooked though, they're not raw.
The old-fashioned oats.
Yeah, unless it says it's raw,
Oh.
then you would be able to.
Steel cut. Okay, those.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It's a good question. And just so you can see, these are roofies,
What?
and
You put this in salads?
how many days has it been that these have been sprouting?
Wow.
Has it been like a week almost?
I sprouted them, but then I sprouted them.
Okay.
Sprouted them for about, take the time you're supposed to.
Okay. So again, this is buckwheat, and buckwheat has a nice thing about it, and that is that you can put it in just about anything, and it's not going to skew the taste. So it's not going to be really sprouty tasting. Okay.
Can you just eat them raw, just like that?
You can, but again, they should if they are raw, they should be soaked.
Where do you get those little lids that have the hole? Yeah.
These?
Yeah. Any other place other than the car that they can be found?
I don't know.
Okay.
That's the only place I've seen them. Okay, so Amber actually had come up with a dessert using
It's
soaked.
like lentils, Ruth, is that
Yeah,
lentils?
that's it, almost.
This is buckwheat too?
Yeah, it's buckwheat.
What did you ever do?
Amber made a dessert that was awesome. It's not good for this weather
Yeah.
because it's using coconut oil,
Oh,
the sprouts,
yeah.
and soaked cashews
Yeah.
and soaked almonds. A little bit of agave, and I think that's pretty much it. You can't tell there's sprouts in it. And it tastes, you put it in the fridge after just putting it in the food processor, and it's just delicious. And it's like an energy bar, you don't want to get a lot of it, but it's an awesome way to get your coconut oil every day. So again, if you know how, which I've given you the information, if you know how to treat your grains and your nuts and your legumes right, then I believe that as we go ahead and do that, that God is going to bless us with better health. And I'm looking forward to this. This is an experiment for me too. All right? So any questions?
I give all you.
I don't have all the answers, but is
No,
there any
but we
questions?
have, like, we went, and we got like these little boxes, crate. They can see you got, and then that way, you grab them in the house. Like that. You can make yourself a nice, way salad, do herb like that.
Right. And the nice thing about sprouts is that you can do this without any soil.
Right.
It's
Without a smell or anything like that.
right. You just need to make sure that that you're keeping after them and not
Yeah.
not letting them sit there for 3 days not
Oh, yeah,
rinsed.
yeah.
Because they need to be rinsed. They need to be cleaned.
Yeah.
Okay. So at least
It works, no,
twice a
it
day.
really works.
So the sprouting needs to be done in dark.
Well, that's controversial. Most people set them in the dark, or put something over them so that it is more dark. But I've also read where people put it in the sunny window. So it depends, I think it depends, like at the beginning part, most people keep it dark.
Dark.
If you're trying to grow some leaves on here, you know, and some sprouts that way, once you've sprouted these, you can actually put it out on a tray or something. But you do want to make sure they stay moist. You don't want them to dry out or they're going to die.
Yeah.
So, you know, again, you know, the way they do it, like in the grocery stores, they do it right in the container, and they keep that moist.
Well, they have that little
Okay.
mist, that's why the vegetables, when you go in there, you keep the mist.
Right, and they have to keep the vegetables
Yeah,
moist.
yeah.
So, but it, like I said, it depends. If you want to sprout something, with the sprouting process unlocks a whole bunch of nutrient, you know, explosion. It's an explosion. So there's a lot more in this than you would say the dead grain, you know. So so this makes a nice way to, and I especially want to show you the buckwheat. Buckwheat is not in the wheat family. There is no gluten in it. So it's actually a different grain, and quinoa as well. So and you can sprout quinoa. We haven't done it successfully.
You know what I don't understand, I don't know most people do, I mean, all of a sudden there's been a big explosion, this gluten thing, I still don't understand it. Gluten, this gluten-free
Different class.
whatever.
It's a different class.
It is a different class, and
But I don't know what they mean, I mean, we don't have it now, before we had it, so I don't know what.
well, the reason that there is such an issue now is that our guts are not healthy. And there's a good reason for that. You know, it's been over 20 years that we've been getting things in our food, like genetically modified things, that are not, they're killing the insides of us. So as far as what, you know, basically if you want to kill a person slowly, you know, make it so that they can't absorb their nutrients.
Yeah, but I mean, our diets have
That's what
changed.
happens with
Yeah,
this, so.
and with this oven, our diets are completely changed today from when I grew up. A lot of it, some was no good for them, baby. And when I remember we had problems up here. The food they fed us.
The other thing I was just going to mention was that quinoa also needs to be rinsed several times, even before you soak it, to take off the sapin. There's sapin in it, which it sounds kind of sour, doesn't it? It is sour. So you want to take that off, and it usually takes 3 or 4 rinsings to do that. Okay? Does anybody else have any other questions I can't answer? Okay, so.
You should put it that way though. If I don't have, I'll find it for you.
Well, that's what I'm going to do, because I'm, you know, I think this is great that, you know, for so many years I've taken things for granted. You know, oh, this is just the way you do it, and that's just, you know, and it's like get back into the kitchen and just, you know, do what you got to do.
Yeah.
You know, do it fast as possible. And now it's like, okay, I got to plan things a little bit more ahead, and but it's going to be worth it. You know, because for me, I have issues with my thyroid as well as my hormone balance, and I'm looking forward to seeing how this is going to change my life. You know, just this, because of the things that I typically would eat, but haven't been eating in a way that benefits me. And what I would have to say, I came back to was that there was a verse that says, the enemy comes to kill, steal, and destroy. And so, again, you know, it's our choice. Now that we know, it's our choice whether or not we're going to.
Well, you're not eating just to be eating. You're eating to get something out of it.
Right, if we're going to eat for nourishment, or if we're going to eat just for, what's the word?
Gratification.
For instant gratification, or just for, you know, indulging our appetite. Yeah. So the more that we get into using more sprouts and more and more live foods, you know, the better our health will be.
And the
So-
thing is, it's something we can do ourselves, we don't have to go to the store to do it.
So now, are you ready?
Perfect
Okay.
timing, I guess, huh? Unless you were trying to hold the fort while I was running around crazy. That dinosaur camera needs a lot of massaging.
We got a lot of dinosaurs in there,
It
huh?
tastes a little different, so I hope it's okay.
You got a mix of dinosaurs in there?
Yeah, I gotta pass one of the girls' palate, the other one I didn't.
Oh, guess what?
What?
That's called a salt glow. I'm a massage therapist, so.
Oh, that's
They got
good.
called salt glow.
Oh, okay.
And salt, so.
Okay, well, now we have a variety of baked burgers, so that was interesting.
Wonderful.
Was that wonderful?
Yeah.
It's filled up with knowledge, it stops at about here, so it's hard to keep it all in, and it's good to spill some of it out. So I missed that, and I'll have to watch the blog. Everything can be watched on the blog, on the website. How'd you get here? Did you see her whole presentation?
Not
Pretty
the
much?
whole thing, I got here at 3.
I phoned them up, they were camping, so you're gonna bring home some burger, we're gonna make sure she brings some extra food home to the campground, especially if we're coming on over. So welcome Dawn, this is Dawn of the Brand New Day. She told me I would remember her name if I remembered that. I use it
Dawn of the Brand New Day.
every single time I look at her, I say, the Brand New Day, the Brand New Day. And I'm just Janice up here and now. Okay, so we're going to demonstrate now how to make a black bean burger. We gave you this recipe here. Do not leave for too long.
I'll be right back.
Thank you. Okay.
We don't have that yet. We don't have
You didn't get these recipes? Well, they're somewhere, okay, you can pass these out. Cool. Okay. Can you pass these out, Robert? Thank you. Okay. Yes, we made some kale salads while you were away. We have enough.
That's what I'm gonna be interested, I heard so much about it, but I never really.
I know, it's a little bit different, so. Take a look, we're gonna look at all the ingredients that we have here today for the black bean burger.
Well, how do you think they prepared it?
Did they do all that wonderful stuff? Oh, no.
I doubt it.
That's
I doubt
right.
it. So even if you're getting organic beans that are in a can, I was thinking, wow, what a entrepreneurial opportunity.
It's true.
You know, even if you're getting beans in a can that doesn't have BPA, if they haven't been treated right, you're still going to have the same issue. They have been rinsed, they have been soaked, most likely, they have been cooked, but they're not going to have, again, the best nutrient value for you. So, you know, it's good in a pinch. You know, there's some things that, you know, unexpected guests and that sort of thing, you might want to have them on hand, but it's not something that, that anymore I want to make a staple of my diet.
Right. Now, because you mash them in this recipe, that means you're taking the hull off. Would that be like a catch-22 that would work out for it?
We're mashing, but we're not taking it out. We're not taking out, you know, the actual, you mean the skins?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're still gonna be in there. You'll see them.
Oh,
In
yeah,
the
for
burgers.
sure, but when you soak them, they're still gonna be in there too. Right?
The skins?
Oh,
yes,
I know.
But you're using something that, it's called a neutralizer.
Right.
To actually neutralize, what is the anti-nutrient. So it's, again, it's like a key that's gonna open the door,
Yeah.
okay? And without that, there's certain things that you're not going to have available to you. And that it can actually work against you, okay? Sorry, James, but phytates are one of those things, and tannins are in beans, and they actually do,
I don't have any spare here.
the phytates actually block the absorption of minerals like calcium and iron and zinc. So tannins tend to do the same thing. As you know, regular tea has tannins, so we'll do the same thing. And the enzyme inhibitors. So again, enzymes are something your body needs to be able to use. There's enzyme inhibitors to protect the bean itself. It's like a baby that has its own protection.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, thank you.
And so those things actually with the soaking and the neutralizer are actually dispelled, okay? And that's why you throw out the water. Okay.
Beverly,
Yes.
so, like, when you're, like, soaking all these beans, right, and then cooking them, like, if you don't wanna just make enough for dinner, like, if you wanna make a big batch so that you have some later,
Freeze them.
how,
Rinse
but I
them, freeze them.
oh, rinse them?
Freeze them.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Cause
So now
I've
they're
frozen them before and they've come out
And you-
like mush when I thawed them out.
Well, after you cook them all, but then put them in the freezer cooked.
But rinse them, don't keep them in that broth that it's made on.
Right, right.
Right.
So after you cook them, you're gonna just, pick it up by spoonful or whatever, or drain them, whatever you're not gonna use, and put them in the freezer. And that way you have cooked beans that are ready to go.
Brilliant.
And
So
that-
like after you drain them, then like spread them out on a cookie sheet or something for them to dry and then put them in a freezer bag or?
That would probably be the best way to do it. I haven't done that research, so, but that's probably the best way to do it, so you don't have water in there, because it's basically, okay? All right, so
All right, you
Janice
left all
is,
this information out of your home ec class when you were in the
Oh,
primary school, see what they know, and it's very interesting because, we think that we're getting the nourishment that we need by some of the choices of food. There's so much information out there, but sometimes there's so much that's left unsaid, and it's how important it really is to get the proper nutrition that we need. I don't know if Beverly mentioned, and I didn't really study up on the beans of myself, but God's protected what's on the inside with what He's put on the outside. And by knowledge, we learn how to get what's on the inside into our bodies so that they can use it. So it's pretty interesting. Now this is our new little hot plate and how it wants to work. I know how. It said put it on low and I've got it on high and I can almost touch it. So what? So
that's okay.
we'll talk to Walmart about this. So what we've done here, and I'm great, and anytime you want to stop and ask questions to Beverly or myself, just do it. If you want to get more questions about that, keep going. I'm sure you do, because there was a lot of sort of a new kind of information, but it was wonderful, huh? Great. Do some sprouting. Just a little. So I'm just sauteing up the onions and the garlic until they're slightly translucent. That's what it says here on your recipe. And then when that's good, I feel a little bit longer, I'm just going to add the carrots inside. So a black bean burger, protein-wise, is going to give you a sufficient amount of protein for the day, as if you were eating the hamburger. But you're not eating the hamburger, you're eating black bean burger. So you're not going to go without. Again, this is a tiny little new little thing. We prepared these as well behind the scenes. All the little workers have worked hard day and night so you will get one. But just want to see how simple this really is. I was pretty impressed with how these burgers went together, especially the other one, which is my favorite right now. After you get a stocked pantry, a lot of this stuff is going to be available. So if you were a ground beef person and the family decided they were coming over with the grandkids, you didn't have your supplies ready, you weren't going to be able to do any burgers, but this way you can do beautiful burgers. Now another thing to point out right now, and it's not as though you want to be taking away all the things that are part of our culture, but it's been known for a few years that perhaps working on a charcoal grill was not good for your health. And now as they've gotten a little more understanding of it, it's actually proven now. And the state that we're in with stomach cancers and colon discomforts and such of the like with the irritable bowel and everything to do with that system. We love our charcoal broiled food. When we go out, we like the Applebee's. We want to see the score on it, that it's been properly charred.
Carbon monoxide.
Okay, but when it's actually known, okay, the burner's working. It took a little time to get there, burner's working. But it actually changes the DNA in 2 of the cells that are within the lining of your stomach and it causes them to become cancerous.
Wow.
And you say, well, what about a little? I don't know, who wants to put their hands up that a little cancer is good?
No, I'm putting my hands up for
So
that.
it's just.
We're adding cumin, by the way.
Yeah,
We're adding our spices.
Yeah, this spice is getting hot now. Adding our oil. So it's just something that we have to recognize. Now you wonder, oh, you took all the fun out for me, Jan. Can I do vegetables on the grill? Yeah. Can I do
Okay.
fruits and vegetables on the grill? Yes, I can. How about different things like poultries and fish? Well, if you choose to eat those, they would be a little safer. And I read recently that, hand is one out. Got it? I read recently that if you if you grilled, a lot of people will grill. In my past grilling days, I would always parboil my chickens ahead of time. So that also takes down the cancer risk a little bit. But we're not advocating meat, and we're not advocating no meat either. Those choices are for you. But we're talking about grilling. We're talking about having fun at the picnic and having it forever, years and years down the road. Not just having a one-day party
Pounding of
and
kids.
having that difficult. That's kids. Okay, down here? Is this a hot plate? Okay. So now, in the large bowl, we're going to match some. Have this down? Yes. Okay, you know what? Turn this off. Okay. So in the large. Go ahead.
In a large bowl, you're gonna put your black beans.
Okay, and they're going to be mashed, adding the contents from the frying pan, okay? I'm just going to give them a little,
Happy
see how. Okay, so you're just adding those warm contents right inside. Again, onions, garlic, carrots, beans that you prepared in a very special way are going to be in your freezer, ready to come out, and you're going to be able to do a nice homemade burger right at the drop of a hat. So this has to be mashed together. I chose to do it by hand. I'm not sure how.
You can do it in your food processor.
Yeah, where's my food processor?
Janice, she decided to do it the hard way, but we wanted to also show you that, if you don't have electricity, or, whatever, it doesn't mean you can't mash your beans, okay? Even if you need to use a fork, you can still mash your beans. As long as they're cooked well enough and they're soft.
Okay, so we'll just give you a little idea. Some more?
Yes.
So not good. Am I going to be making patties? Okay, I need to know where the ninja. My goodness.
The reason I'm asking her to mash them is because I mashed about half of what
Ah, the churrino.
Yep. So that's why, you live and learn, right? So, the first time I tried this burger, it was too soft. I felt like it was too soft. It seemed like pate, like you could just spread it. So I was like, I'm gonna leave some beans in there, but I didn't mash enough of them. So that's why I'm insisting she mashes more, because I want them to hold together. Now, as you can see from this recipe, it doesn't have a lot of oil in it, does it? It doesn't have a lot of fat, but it does have some. And one thing that I found in my perusings was that your ability to make vitamin A from carrot was actually because of how it's made in your liver. If you have some fat in it, using avocado, using oil like olive oil, then you're actually going to be able to make more vitamin A than you would otherwise. So for people who are really freaked out about oils and who don't want to have oils in their diet or whatever, okay, use an avocado. You can substitute, but it's going to again enhance your nutrition if you actually have that in there. Okay, so this is the Bragg's, and we put Bragg's on the list because that's one of the better soy sauces. But if you have regular soy sauce, you can use that. So this burger doesn't have a lot of extra stuff in it.
Okay, no problem.
Now, while everybody was talking about the vitamin A in the liver, I failed to mention when we were looking at the kale, that kale is well known for the fat-soluble vitamin, vitamin K. Your body produces vitamin K. That's why some people get a little concerned about a lot of kale, spinach, and other broccoli and other vegetables like that. They think they might get an excess, but I mean, you might have to go at it like it's named dinosaur kale and get a real lot of it. But if you're just getting, if you have problems in any way with bone and calcium loss, the vitamin K can be very advantageous to help you there. So those foods then become better for those of you who might have that problem, and for all of us. I'm tired? Sure. No, you do it now.
So we're just stirring in the oats, okay? And that's how easy this recipe is. You could do it in your processor, but if you're going to add the hot stuff, okay, then you may want to, you know, if you have a plastic casing, you may not want to put, you know, burning hot stuff in there, even though your beans may be cold. So, okay. So now,
There you go.
this is what it looks like. You've got a mix, you've got your carrots in there, you've got your oil to help your carrots, but the oil was for actually sauteing, okay? And very simply, another trick that, you know, we're supposed to do with this is you're supposed to actually make the burgers and then stick them in the freezer to set, or you could put them in the fridge. Something I picked up along the way, which I have even told Dennis, is really a neat little idea, and that is, this is a 1/4 cup measure. You can actually do this like this, and actually put your beans now. It's ready to go. You can put it right in here. For a measure, if it's going to cooperate.
Excellent.
It's gonna yield.
Love it.
I like that idea very much.
Now you don't have to scoop it out. You didn't just measure it.
You didn't get
You
your
got this
hands
perfect.
on.
That's right. I didn't get my hands
Yeah,
dirty.
it's wonderful.
I can actually now flatten it. I want it. It's easy. Goes right in the fridge or freezer and will set. And I'm assuming the reason it needs to set is because of the oats, because we just put the oats in. Okay?
Perfect.
So,
100 to go.
there you go.
So that's how simple that was.
And we got the mortgage right up for you.
This one has a nice texture.
This was our favorite, so
Boy, so we're gonna mix together in a bowl here our breadcrumbs. You can read on the recipe. Keep reading.
the green one, okay?
On the walnuts. And then you're all passing around.
Okay, so you're with your breadcrumbs.
Thank you.
There you go.
Your breadcrumbs, your crushed walnuts. So three ingredients, very simple, and gluten flour. Again, this is refined from wheat. Okay, so it is a refined gluten. But it is what tends to hold things together like bread. Those three things together in the Italian seasoning. And it's very simple to mix up.
Again, things that you're most likely going this one more so, you might just have everything on hand. As you build a pantry toward a vegetarian lifestyle, you'll have a little gluten flour on hand, you'll have some nuts on hand. And this is a great way to put out a nice family get-together, real nice and quick.
Can you use ground flaxseed instead of the gluten flour?
Can you? I suppose you could, but this recipe just chooses the gluten as a binder. But
It was the flaxseed as a binder too.
Right, we had the oatmeal as a binder before.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have sweet potatoes as a binder, and different things you can put, sure. But this is mixy, but it's bumpy. Oh, that's a little. This was an Italian seasoning, and you can choose either way that you want to. I just recently learned that in Italy, there's a little bit of thing is Italian seasoning. They use basil, they use basil. They want to use oregano, they use oregano. They don't make this tri-seasoning that we do here. It's a taste that you'll be familiar with. It's pretty strong though, so if you want to use one of the three or not, use the mix. Okay. Again, we have our little new burner on. Oh, this one's a little hotter. It's a little hotter. Okay. And now we're going to fry in a little bit of oil. Do we have a little bit of oil?
Now this says fry in order, but I think this is the opposite order. We're gonna start with the onion, and then the mushrooms, and then the garlic.
Do we have a little oil to add to this? So there isn't any oil
And
on
you
it.
would use a grapeseed oil with that? That's,
You can use grapeseed oil. You can use olive oil. You can use avocado oil.
Coconut.
This is actually avocado. And you can use coconut. You just need to be careful not to scorch it.
You're right. The spatula. I'll have to use this one. Okay. Throw a little onion. I underestimated this burger. I'll give you a little secret. One of the reasons we were doing this in here today is because we're going to go to a new venue within our health ministry called All in the Family, and we like to do cooking classes for young people, for children. And we thought keeping them in a place here where they're really on positive.
And then,
Is that right? The walnut is the little nut that looks like your brain when you cut it sideways and look at it. So it's a good nut to have every day. People like me should have one breakfast, lunch, and dinner. For the brain power. We're tossing this little can on here.
So if you wanted to make it gluten-free though, you could just use bread
Yeah.
and flaxseed, the ground flaxseed.
That's right, you
And then it
could,
could be gluten-free.
I think so, you could experiment with that. I think so.
Ruth actually made some today that are gluten-free.
Yeah.
She did.
So, yeah.
Is that how you did it?
No, I put the milk flour in the bread pie. We're getting the bread pie here. Just got a little bigger can. Can I use bread can? What they call it?
Yep. But not gluten-free. I like the organic. Yeah, gluten-free box bread meal, gluten-free flour. Yeah, yeah.
How am I gonna boil it?
She said that, she put the walnut burger, and didn't realize it wasn't supposed to be brown. So put that down on there,
Oh,
that
that's a good thing to
Except
know.
for sugar, they eliminated some. They eliminated the sugar. They took, I don't understand. How they can eliminate food to take the food. Yeah. But I mean, with the thing, they don't give you a choice. They take stuff out.
This is something my air conditioner is. Thank you.
But they take stuff out, you can use it out. They take the trash.
So after they become translucent, it has to add some boiling water. And Beverly did hers behind the scenes cooking here. She put the water right in. We're gonna do the same thing here, because our one burner, not one two burner.
I'm just salvaging my onions.
Yeah.
Leaving behind.
Oh, okay.
One of the reasons too that I always do put a little bit of oil when you're sauteing onions is to capture the flavor. because if you don't put any oil, what will tend to happen is the essential oils from the onion will be stuck in your curtains and on your hood and next on your refrigerator. The essences escape with the heat, but the oil actually traps them. So it flavors the oil and keeps the flavor in what you're actually cooking. So again, a lot of people want to do oil-free. Well, don't burn your onions and don't burn your oil, but you want to saute them so that flavor and what's good about the onion is actually getting, it's getting captured. Okay?
The only thing about it, I use a lot of sugar oil, so brown sugar.
We're going to add the salt.
Pink Himalayan salt here today. A little bit more of the amino acids, we're using the rags. Boy, you know it's humid out there already. Right. Oh, it's you.
Well, it's time to go ring no phone.
Okay, you're stirring in the kitchen, he has to go get stuff done. It's coming up to a boil now, so it's pretty quick to prepare this recipe. Okay.
We're going to get our oats in there.
Oats in the boiling water.
Now, the only reason you can't do this with the other recipe is putting the oats in with the water is because there's no water in that recipe. So there's not really anything boiling for you to put it into except for you're actually getting it right into the beans. Okay, so
So the beans is the binder, that one, this is the old one.
and also the beans. So
A minute.
okay. So yeah, let that go and turn your bed, and then we're gonna add the oil. You can either add that right into there, or you can add it into here. So this is what I did today. So I just put everything into the one pot. It made it simple. I didn't have to go to separate pots, and it made sense to me.
You could do this at the campground, Dawn. You could do this right on the campfire tonight. Take the recipe and just...
Yeah, but we didn't go camping. He's been fishing.
Oh, fishing.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, we haven't gone there yet.
Where's that?
Come on here.
He's fishing.
Where?
In Chapel.
Oh, yeah. So I was thinking that.
Now he's not excused.
Yeah, sure.
Camping was on this. Okay. This recipe is asking for a vegan shredded cheese. That's going to go into the dry, so we're not going to go into here. Beverly's chosen a cheddar base vegan.
I have a question for you.
Yeah?
Now, vegan cheese, what is that?
It's made from the one that I got is actually made from almond milk. So instead of being made from actual cow's milk, it's made from almond milk.
Oh. I use almond milk with cereal.
A lot of people do now. So
What's that?
You can find vegan cheese at Big Mart.
Oh, yeah?
Here
Yeah, it's healthier for you.
I'm gonna be down by my house. If they advertise and making homemade type cheese and stuff, the farm down on the house.
So at this point, it looks a little bit like oatmeal that we're stepping into
From that Jackie like
the
that.
mix.
That's a cheese. But like
Cheese is last. So we have to start.
farm set up. They plan. I live in down the Valley Road. We go up big barn. The big barn. Yeah. kind of pond there where you could all. And so that Jackie checked in the morning.
And because this is
But the
hot,
new
she's
farm.
gonna melt a little bit
The
too.
food farm.
So it's also gonna work as a little bit of like,
That means the city road too, right? Yeah. But then now he's in a big mountain, and then people
it's
won't.
been a city.
But we went up and checked it out. There's all kinds of, well,
Yeah.
she can tell you later.
Yeah, it is.
You know, and I feel more about the food farm. And then I think we got to go down below.
I think you're really going to enjoy this burger. I hope you do. I think it's a new sensation. The veggie burger and the black bean burger have been something that, you know, I've learned to get accustomed to over time. But this one, appealed to me right off the bat. So I'm going to make sure going forward that I have everything I need to be able to sort of do this at the drop of a hat.
Now-
Hi, honey, I'm home and I'm hungry. Just give me 10 minutes.
Now, there's two brands, I know I like to buy. Like, there's a king, and then rather get the bag kind of better, right? The regular beans in a bag. Now there's G, I forgot the name of it.
Right, so
Huh?
you can get them in a bag or you can get them in bulk, and even cheaper.
Yeah.
You got the full.
Oh, really? For a co-op? Well, I'm just talking just your local store here, Stop and Shop.
And perhaps going forward, we could be a little annex to some of the opportunities. Oh, we're getting a yay on that too. Some of the opportunities that some of the things are available. We have a food co-op through the church. And a lot of people do order and supply stuff down. There's no quote-unquote money to be made, but there's a variety of things to be had. Some of the things you'll never see at the co-op. So maybe that will be a future for us if you're interested.
I don't mean to interrupt, but you can ask Jack more about that when we check that. About my house, I'm like going close to it.
Yeah.
That's the farm, that big barn, and
Yeah.
well, then that is like a crystal program, so you can order. I don't know.
Oh, save
But that's Jackie more, like, you can figure more on that. We just took that, so they said, so we just go.
Yeah, everybody's
A new
really,
couple bought the place, and they tried it out. But it's like a co-op, but not a co-op, you know what I'm saying?
right, the food share.
Yeah.
This thing is hot.
Yeah.
I get it, this is hot.
Yeah, like the local garden down by, Water Park,
Yeah.
the local garden. That's
Okay.
very nice.
All right, so most of this is incorporated. This is where Janice is going to actually dive in.
Yeah. And my hands are still clean.
All right, so
You got a massager? You got a massager?
Back to the
I
massage.
said that was your job. Massager.
Day off,
here's my.
The day off? Oh,
yeah.
we didn't do that a good job.
And today she does it.
I still haven't got one yet. I've been waiting in line here, but I'm still waiting for my massager.
Helps to get that last, a little bit of a press. Helps to get it, yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
I just have a little extra water just in case. If it's too dry, you can always add a little tiny bit of water. But until you get your hands in it, you won't know if it's the right texture or not. This actually looks really good.
So put our plate in the physical. I think we're not gonna do that little trick that we just learned with the black bean burger, which is so nice and neat.
You learn a new trick?
I'm gonna put a little under there.
Yeah, but we're gonna do a little different.
I'm gonna show you everything inside.
You
So
got
I'm gonna put some of this.
black bean.
That's a big burger. Is that a working? I'm in trouble, I'm in trouble. I messed up.
We saw.
Yeah.
Okay, bring it to the little fingers. I see at your fingers.
Oh, okay, I see. It's in my fingers. Yes, Mom.
Janice, wait.
Is this it? Okay, where are we going to help you?
And you're gonna actually press it together really well.
Okay,
Okay,
okay.
and then you're gonna try to pat it down.
This is a trick that she's getting for that. We had a different trick.
Oh,
Okay,
Go ahead.
so this is what I'm choosing.
what's over? Oh, you got power.
Okay, so
Left
all
side, right? Left. And you pull the rest of it
this, don't worry,
away.
it's mine.
Pull it away.
You know, but that always happens, that's live demo, that's what they call a live demo. It's not like
way to sign.
It's a price that we use for that donation. The price that
What you see here is that when you go out to actually enjoy the meal, picture perfect.
Yeah.
Actually, the reason we're doing this is because, I don't know if you've ever made a burger and there's been cracks in it.
Yeah.
You're taking all the cracks off. Okay, so that you're less likely to have your burger fall apart.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're getting the inside now is being held together, and you're not having these crevices on the outside that should actually, you know.
Rather than like you say, you make by hand.
So that's how easy that is, and then that may be a little bit too quick.
Thinner, yeah, when you bring it back down.
It depends on how thick you want it. Some people like thick burgers, so you can have it thicker. We make them a little bit thinner because we want you to actually try several different types of burgers, so we don't want you to get filled up with just this one. This one's very filling. One should
Now this one was
So I
full
made
full
it
recipe.
thinner.
I mean, you guys
Okay?
but this is the main recipe.
Final,
We have it out there.
this is our final question. Are you hungry?
Yes.
No. Give us,
Starving.
take a couple of minutes and just, everybody collect themselves while we just put the food out on the table. It'll be in a center table, picnic fashion, and you Thank you very much for coming. Please keep watching the website and looking for our next event. But we will be in Memorial Park, which is right here in Willimantic on Main Street, on Sunday afternoon for about 3 hours, from 2 to 5, and we'll be doing a full 8-station health expo. Looking at nutrition, exercise, water, sunlight, trust, temperance, air, and rest. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Children are welcome if you have children, grandchildren, our neighbors and friends. They'll be doing a little face painting, little area for children. And I believe at this point I have a little music. I'm not sure, but I have a little music
But we have
coming.
run into trouble there.
A little music, we have a guitar player coming, okay? So we'll
thank you
see
for
you there.
coming,
Thank you.
and you're gonna eat with us, right? Okay.
Yes.
And I think that we repeat
And Ruth
the
also
time
made,
so everybody gets like
2 o'clock.
2 o'clock.
Ruth also made some cookies, they're gluten-free.
Memorial
But I
Park.
don't think there's enough for us to have more than one, so
All
we're gonna
right.
share.
Okay, thank
So,
you.
the other thing is that while Janice is going to set up, I'm going to just recommend again, I'm the water lady, so if you haven't drank water, which I don't think